Hello everybody! For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chelsea Uniqorn. I am a musician and a vocalist, and I'm making this video to give you just a little glimpse into my process for making the music video for our most recent single, Three Body Problem, from conception to execution. Before I go straight there, I do have to give you a little bit of background. So I have been making music for over 20 years and have directed, funded, and edited all my own music videos along with my amazing artist collaborators with the Unicorn Domination crew, Clint, Lucia, and Ali, lovely friends and small teams throughout that time. My first music video, Babble Stacks, was made 12 years ago, directed by one of my best friends and incredibly talented writer and filmmaker, Jesse Conweiler, and that one was filmed on real VHS tape. Turned out amazing. For those of you born in the 2000s, you won't know what those words mean, but it's cool. Since then, I have gone on to make 9 more music videos for tracks made with my band, Unicorn Domination, for other collaboration tracks with artists Appu Krishnan, Three Body Problem video that we're going to talk about today, and Matt Jefferson, Light the Night. I've been doing this for a long time. I absolutely love it. I love to be able to bring my songs to life with video and visual imagery. It is so much fun, and I am super passionate about video as an artistic medium. Before I talk about the music video, I do also need to lay some foundation around the concept of the song. Now, in music in general, I really prefer to only write authentically about what I have experience with, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So when Appu played me this track at his music studio at Garnish Music School in North Hollywood, he said there was this feeling of frustration and anger that he was trying to capture and trying to get out with the song. And he really wanted the title of the song to be Three Body Problem. Yes, because of the Super Badass show, but it started off as 3. So anyway, I did some work writing some scratch vocals to the track that did end up being about drugs, and I sent it back to Appu. And I don't think what I initially wrote was vibing with Appu's vision for the song, so he suggested we have a writing session with his talented songwriter friend, Rebecca Pearl. So we did a Zoom writing session that was super fun, and it was my first time doing any kind of vocal writing session. We got some really good melodies and lyrics down in this session, and then when we were finished, I continued to work on the track further from what we had created. I really wanted to integrate the things that we came up with in the writing session into a cohesive concept that also felt true for me, and that also related to the song title, Three Body Problem, that Appu wanted. So this is how we landed on this song being about the kind of amorphous third entity, third body that can sometimes emerge from a toxic relationship where both people have completely lost their individuality and begin to merge with each other and create this kind of like third body. Now, if you ask Appu what the song is about, he might have a different answer, but this is my video and my perspective. So I wanted to portray these dark, visually striking environments that evoked this kind of feeling, that original feeling that Appu was trying to express when writing the original music. And since I am a poor artist who spends all the money I make working other jobs to pay for my creative endeavors, my concepts are always low budget. So there is a place where I go. I have a lot of really amazing visions and ideas. Any guesses? Yes, actually it is in the bathtub, because I'm relaxed, I'm in a half meditative state, and since I'm a very visual person, I can just kind of sit with my eyes closed and really let my imagination run wild. I can let it go and just develop concepts into visuals and see how it plays out in my mind's eye. And often what I see is not possible to actually execute in real life, but this is one of my absolute favorite ways to pass the time because I feel totally and completely free and limitless in my imagination. And when I'm in that state, I'm also in a completely creative and imaginative place without logic or reason or criticism getting in the way of my creative flow. So I think this is really important actually. When you're in a creative flow state, to stay in that state of imagination, you can't switch over to criticism or analyzing or doubt or planning. These are different processes and they actually get in the way of imagination and creativity. It doesn't help creativity at all to switch back and forth between imagining the imagination phase and the planning phase. So I really like to keep those different processes separate. So first letting the imagination fly, and then choosing a few directions to go with, and then thinking about how to actually execute the vision. So after some wonderful baths, I then created a mood board. This was to share with Appu and our DP that we chose, Jake, so they could also start to see my vision and share their likes and dislikes and contribute ideas on how to execute it. Because this is always a collaborative process with your team you're working with, I wanted Appu and Jake to be a part of it from conception. So once we agreed on the general look and feel that we all liked, we chose 2 locations to achieve what we liked from the mood board. We chose FD Photo and Video Studio in downtown LA, and because they already had great photos and descriptions online, we really didn't need to go scout it in person before the shoot. We could have, we actually probably should have, but we didn't. And I also went to a lake nearby to scout the location for the second shoot, the Swamp Queen shoot. So after these locations were set and booked, then I started looking at the logistics and loosely mapping out the final music video composition to plan the video shoot days and create shot lists for each room and location. I did my best to prepare and to be specific, but really on the day of the shoot, we had to move very quickly. We were very ambitious and we had to make a lot of adjustments and decisions on the fly due to time constraints in each room. So we also had to pay attention in the moment to see what was working and what was not working in each room. So every video that you do is a learning experience. So the opening and the first scene of the video was filmed in the rain room at FD Studios, and yes, it had rain coming from the ceiling, or the choice to use rain. We chose this room because it was a blackout room and we really wanted to be able to control the light. So like the name, this room also had rain, which we used after those initial shots because when in a rain room, you've got to use the rain. I mean, come on. So we did use the rain. You can see that those shots are in the video. So cool. But going back to the opening scene, I really wanted to integrate lots of body parts. So I chose these white mannequin hands placed in a ritual circle to really capture this scene that was darkly occult, but not satanic. You can see the pentacle is oriented up, not upside down, people. So I also wanted to express that I was feeling possessed in a way, not knowing who was in my body or which body parts were mine and which were not mine. A blurry line between my body and the other body, and feeling a little insane, doubting my ability to see and feel those boundaries. I also wanted to show that sometimes this could actually feel a little euphoric or in a toxic way, like I was addicted and wanted it to happen, even though it was confusing and sometimes painful. So often in music and in this context in the music video, we're trying to express feelings that can't really be articulated in words, that really can't be described in words. So I'm doing the best I can to give it to you in word format, but a lot of things can't be truly captured in words. So I'm sure some of you can relate to that feeling, this relationship between the polarities, pain and hurt, and really high highs, like sex after a big fight, or feeling hurt and feeling good at the same time. Just as a side note, I'm not an actor. I still feel very awkward and uncomfortable on stage and in front of the camera. And also, I don't fit the mold of pretty much every popular skinny model, female pop star. I could do a whole other video about body image and society's bullshit standards of beauty, and maybe I will, but for this video, it was difficult. This is my body, and I can't get another one, and I fully love and accept my body. I also am a bit heavier now than I ever have been in the past in my life, so I just wanted to share that it also took me a lot of courage and self-acceptance to be filmed and be the main character in this video and in the past in other music videos. I have struggled a lot with body image and the way I look for a long time, so this is one of the best things about getting older. You really begin to accept yourself for just exactly who you are and what you look like, and really not care so much about what others think. And it feels so good. So anyway, when we booked the studio downtown LA for the opening scene in the rain room, that's when I saw the other two rooms in the studio, on the studio website, that began to spark more ideas. So this is the first time I've ever shot in an actual photo video studio. The second verse of the song starts off, "Chop up and serve, all ready for ya. This constant burn, systemic problem." So when I saw the white room on the studio website, I immediately saw a white room dining scene for this verse. So this scene was not a part of the original plan or mood board, but we decided to go for it anyway. So this is a cool example of how a physical space can also influence the creative process. So I went to countless thrift stores around the Joshua Tree area and Palm Springs, and craft stores to find weird and unusual items to set the table, and spray painted them all white or silver. I wanted to show this scene of preparing myself to be consumed, and like a self-sacrifice. So sometimes that is how it feels when you have this burning passion and you want to be consumed, and you want to consume the other, and you want to be ravished with that desire. And when you can't achieve it, you're left with this kind of frustrating energy. Now, of course, as always, the lyrics and the video are open to interpretation. And that is something that I love about music and art and video. People relate to it in different ways. But here in this video, I am sharing my own perspective. So with that lyric, "It feels so good until it hurts." Now, I really wanted a real hand coming up out of the dinner table, Beetlejuice style, and we really tried to make this happen. I sawed a hole into the middle of the table and had Appu climb under the table, and we filmed it and everything. But when I looked at the footage and in post-production, I could see we didn't quite pull it off like the image in my head, which sometimes happens. So I ended up using the footage of Appu's gorgeous hand in a different way that really worked with the video and worked with the tempo, and the hands became an added texture that almost felt like the director is pulling the strings of the video, which I really like. It was unexpected and ended up working really well. The third room we shot in at FD Studios was the light room. Now, I love to dance. I am not a trained dancer. I tried a hip hop dance class once at 24 Hour Fitness, and it was a disaster, and I left early. I just kept seeing these dark crow, like bird arms coming up in this V formation like this, with like the hands down. So that was my only idea for choreography, but we actually ended up pulling it off and nailing it in the Lightroom, and Reset and Willie, we just did it on the spot, and it turned out really good. It looks really good. I also wanted to talk about the red screen shots that we got in this room. So this was actually achieved with a shower curtain and lighting. And by the way, this video could not have been made so beautifully without DP Jake McPherson and Brandon, as well as assistance from Appu and BJ. So we got this really cool effect with the light and shower curtain. Again, visually kind of representing this idea of your reality being skewed or being underwater or behind some kind of screen or skin, and not being able to speak clearly or escape from the screen between your individual self and this third entity you've morphed into. You can see out and be seen, but no one can hear you or really even touch you. So I really liked this idea. And I had no idea this part was going to look so cool, but we are really happy with how those shots turned out. Now, the lake. This lake is gorgeous. It's about 2.5 hours east of LA. It was super fun. The lake was very cold and I froze my tits off, but hey, this is what we had to do for this shot, and we do it for the art, right? So this footage comes in after the second chorus in the music video, in this slow motion part of the song. And it's also continuing to follow that idea of feeling like you're underwater, confused, can't breathe. And I also like how here we finally give you an image for this amorphous third body, this black figure, this kind of swamp monster who is actually quite beautiful in a dark and creepy way. We like dark and creepy. So she comes in to bring us into an ethereal in-between place in the song, and conceptually could be related to the subconscious mind, a place where the core of who you are is still there somewhere, screaming at you, I want to tell you, I want to tell you. And she wants to tell you the truth, like, hey, this shit is crazy. I think you need to get out of the situation because you're drowning me in here. But it's hard to listen to that voice, right? When we are addicted to something or someone and we're not thinking clearly and we don't want to listen because we want to experience those highs. And so we don't listen and we just say fuck it and we go right on doing all the destructive things we're doing. So this lake day was super chill. It was super fun. Even though the lake was cold, I know Jake had a lot of fun filming the water and the sun and the nature, and we got to have a lot of really beautiful footage from that day. And I know Appu had a lot of fun with the white mannequin hands. I can show you some of that footage, even though it didn't make it into the final video. It was great. So I love being in nature anyway. We had a very nice time there. It was a really nice day after the craziness of shooting in downtown LA all day. So overall, this video was so much fun to make. Of course, thank you again for the entire crew, for everyone being open-minded and encouraging and supportive and kind of collaborating and working together, developing the concept, and then being flexible on the shoot day. It was great chemistry with all of us together, so that's always good. And I hope you all enjoyed this little behind the scenes video, and maybe you will have a different perspective watching the music video again. As always, please like the video, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube video. For some reason, YouTube's algorithm really doesn't like this video. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I say one swear word and we had to make it explicit. I don't know, but any and all engagement on the video and sharing the video and all of that is greatly appreciated, because YouTube just doesn't like this one. But I love it. I think it was so much fun to make. I think it turned out amazing, and I hope that you all do too. Let me know if you have any comments or questions, and I will respond.